Hello, today we're going to be in the kitchen and we're going to be making some hardtack, coming right up. Well, hardtack's been used for generations upon generations. In discovering new lands, they would take it on board ships because regular bread would mold, flour would mold, but hardtack would always be good. They might get a lot of bugs in it and worms, but they still ate it. And it was a main staple during the Civil War time. So please come with me into the kitchen and we'll go make some hardtack. Hardtack has been known by many names. Here's just a few from Wikipedia. Alright, well, we're here in my kitchen. The lighting conditions aren't the greatest in here, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, anyway, what we got here is we got 2 cups of flour, iodized salt, sun shining in the window behind the camera here, a tablespoon for measuring our salt, half cup measuring cup for our water, and I hope this is coming out okay because I didn't know how to set up the camera. This is my first time doing a cooking thing, so please bear with me. Let me grab another fork here. I'm thinking about it. Okay, and I got a couple of forks. One, at first I'm going to use it to help me do the mixing here. And then when we get ready to make the bread, I'll use it to poke the holes because I don't have a skewer. Okay, we're going to put approximately a cup of flour in there for starters. Now we're going to take our salt, and I'm using iodized salt. Iodized is really good for your thyroid. The iodine is, so we're going to put just a little under a tablespoon of salt in there. I don't know that place, but we don't want it in there. Okay. Let me go ahead and close this salt back up here. Okay, then we're just going to get that salt all mixed up in there. Okay, now we're going to slowly start adding our water. Now, you want this to be very almost like a Play-Doh. You don't want it tacky at all. You want it very, very stiff. Okay, this is now when it gets into the fun time. Get the hands all nice and gooey here. Gonna add a little more flour. Start working that in. Incorporating it all together. There's no exact recipe on this. You can go online and there are so many variations. Okay, going to add a little more flour and then we're going to add a little more water. Now, as you're doing this, you can always add more flour or more water, but you definitely want it to be like I said, like a real Play-Doh. We're going to go ahead and shut off the camera for a minute. We're going to get the rest of this flour and water in here and come back and let you see what it looks like. Okay, we got it just about incorporated here. We added just a little extra water, and it's about to come out of here. So what we're going to do is we'll take a little bit of flour here. Sprinkle it out. And we'll move our dough to the table here. And if you still feel it tacky like that, just go ahead and add a little more flour. You want to try to get all those air bubbles out of it. Now on this batch, what I want to do is I'm going to be cutting it smaller than what you normally would. Normally you would cut it in approximately 3 by 3 inch squares. That's how they used to do it in the 1800s, and I guess prior to the 1800s. But the reason we're going to do it in a little bit smaller strips is I'm going to be using this almost like a dumpling in soups, and we'll be showing you that here in the near future. We're going to be making a soup using our prepping food, some of our freeze-dried foods. Now when you roll this out, you want it approximately, well, between a 1/4 and a 1/2 inch thick. And you can use anything to cut this with. You can use a glass, or if you have a biscuit cutter or whatever. We're going to be using a pizza cutter today. And like I said, we're not going to be doing it in squares. We're going to be doing it in some strips. That's about the right thickness. Let me grab my pizza cutter here. Oh wait, before we cut it, I'm going to do, usually I don't poke the holes in it. You want to poke holes in it for 2 reasons, at least from what I've heard. One, it helps evaporate the moisture out of it. And the other is that when you go to use this, if you want to use it by putting it in a soup or rehydrating it in your coffee or tea or a broth or what have you, it will help it absorb that and rehydrate faster. Okay. Turn it over and do the same thing on this side. And then once we get this all done, we're going to put it in the oven at 250 for approximately 45 minutes. flip it over and put it in for approximately another 45 minutes. You'll want to keep an eye on it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to take the pizza cutter and make some strips like this. Like I said, I'm not going for the traditional hardtack. I want it to be more like a dumpling. So, okay, let me grab my pan here. Where did I put my pan? Okay, and you want to do this on a ungreased sheet. And it doesn't matter how close together you put them, because this is not going to rise. So you can put them right in there next to each other. I hope you can see that. I know there's a glare on there. Sorry about that, people, but that's the lighting I got to work with in my kitchen here. Okay, you don't want them touching each other, but you can have them really close together. Okay, well, we got that many on there. We'll have to put these on another little cookie sheet. Okay, like I said, we're going to put this in the oven on I'll have to recheck the temperature and get back with you on that. I believe it's 275 for approximately 45 minutes. Okay, we'll get this in there and we'll cut back to you when it's time to flip them over. Okay, well, it's all done. It looks good, except we failed to read the package. We grabbed the wrong flour out of the freezer, and we grabbed the self-rising. But not all is lost. It's still, you can still tell, that's hardtack. It's definitely hardened up. It's dry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it in my dehydrator on the high setting, and we'll leave it in the dehydrator overnight, just in case there's any moisture left in there. But there you go, that's hardtack. We'll make some more in the future and show it to you when we do it with the right flour. But like I said, not all is lost. It's still good. You can still package this up, and it should last you a good long time, 50 years or better. If you happen to do the same thing I did and end up using self-rising flour, what you'll probably want to do is take this, put it back in the oven, let it cool down, then put it back in the oven at about 200, 175, and leave it in there for a few hours. Or if you have a dehydrator like I have, put it in there on high and let it go overnight, just to make sure you get all the moisture out. Anyway, thank you for watching, and well, we'll take the camera back in the other room and talk about this a little bit and some of the mistakes I did and the mistakes you don't want to make. Alright, we'll catch you back in the studio in just a minute. Okay, well, now that you've seen how to make it, definitely please try not to use self-rising flour. we'll be making another batch in days to come with the regular flour instead of the self-rising. I didn't even look at the bag when I pulled it out and just started making it. So anyway, that's hardtack. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give us a thumbs up. You can click on my little smiley face over here and subscribe to the channel. Please, when you subscribe, click that little bell and that will give you notifications next time we upload a video. Please give us a thumbs up if you like our videos, and share. Please share it on your social medias so we can try to grow this channel a little more. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.